Welcome to your weekend focus for August the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, 2016. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we begin, thank you. Thank you so much for all of your support, the loving, generous support that you give me each and every day. Truly, I send it right back to you. I wish for nothing but abundance and happiness on your path forward. So what do we have happening? We have the sun in Leo. So we are still looking at our self-expression of happiness, of joy, of creating happiness and joy and love and laughter in our lives, in our immediate surroundings. Absolutely. Now we have the moon in Virgo. And then as the weekend progresses, the moon moves into Libra. So, let's start with the energy of the cards. So we start with the Hermit. So this is going within. This is meditation, prayer, tapping into your intuition, tapping into your higher wisdom, making the plans, understanding exactly what we need to do and how to do it so effectively. We have the High Priestess. Strong cards this weekend. The spiritual magic comes in, allowing us to see the wisdom of our choices, of our dreams, of our direction. And the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups has been so ongoing lately, hasn't it? It's shown up in so many readings. And this is our choices. I think this is really narrowing down our choices. Maybe we have several ways in which we can walk, and we are trying to decide which one is the best path, or maybe how we can combine paths. You don't necessarily have to choose one if they are similar, or if they can work together, or we can melt them together. Maybe our focus is in a couple different areas of our life. Our angel card is discretion, 34, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So the seeker of truth. So the seeker of truth really makes a lot of sense with our first card, the Hermit, doesn't it? So let's put these away for now. We'll pull out our angel cards after. So we start with the Hermit. Now, the one thing I do like about this deck, and I always get into the artist's perception of the energy the card holds for us. Way down in the bottom there, and I don't know how well you can see that, but there is a path here, weaving through the mountains. And so we too, probably over the last 4 years, have been weaving this path. And so now it's time to maybe contemplate what we went through, but I don't think what we've gone through is as important as where we are going, what we are stepping into. Of course, we want to take away the wisdom from the path up to this point, but I don't think we want to dwell. We want our light to shine brightly. We want to go forward. Now, the Hermit, as I see, goes into the desert, goes into the cave, and meditates, prays, gets alone with his thoughts, understands truly what is of value, what he wants to create, who he wants to become, and makes a plan. And then he comes out of the cave, out of the desert, to pursue his dreams. So we might be in this pause moment this weekend where we can really sit back and think. So if you have any spare time, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, where you can meditate, where you can pray, where you can be alone with your thoughts, I think it would be vitally important to give a little bit of thought to truly where you want to go, what you want to become, what you want to create, what needs to be done in order to step onto that path, What needs to be done as we start to walk that path? And we have the High Priestess bringing in this wisdom. So what a beautiful weekend it is to tap into our intuition, to tap into our intuition and our wisdom, tapping into God, our angels, our spirit guides, allowing the knowledge to come to us, allowing those epiphanies to happen, those aha moments to appear, getting the right information at the right time, being in the right place at the right time for maybe a new job opportunity or a new love relationship, or to uncover some information that you really truly needed that wasn't available to you before now in order to go forward. And then we have the Seven of Cups. And lately I've been getting the Seven of Cups as, sometimes I get it as we have a lot on our plate, too much on our plate. We have to clear off our plate. But I'm getting it more of different choices that are showing up in our lives, different avenues we can take. Now with Virgo energy, we could be pulling that apart and dissecting it and revisiting every part of it. With Libra, it's balancing it between, you know, it's good on this end, but it's bad on this end, and weighing out the pros and cons of any kind of move forward, of what we want, of what we desire. And we have discretion. Well, with the Hermit, I mean, we don't have this loud, boisterous voice, do we? And then we have discretion here. So I think it's more of an internal this weekend, more of a planning, talking to the right people, that lion usually looks to me as if he is hiding from us, but it's almost like he's got his eye on something. It's almost like he's in hunt mode to me. You ever see a cat when they see something and they just stand perfectly still and they're waiting to see how things are going to work out before they go and pounce, before they make their presence known? So maybe we are to watch, we are to listen, we are to learn, we are to be aware of what is happening around us, of what situations we could actually walk into, of what doors may be opening for us, of what conversations brings in new information, what people brings in new information. Remember, with the 3 plus 4 is a 7, we are essentially the seekers of truth. So we are maybe dissecting the truth of the situation, the truth of the information that we are receiving right now, in how to go forward. Maybe we are analyzing, maybe we are strategizing. Let's get our angels out. Where are our angels? They're over here today. Okay. So the Power Angels by Doreen Virtue. These are Legacy of the Divine Tarot. This is the Fallen Angel deck. And of course, we will get out the higher intuition and see what the wise animals have to tell us today about this weekend going forward. Weird cut. Okay, let's go with it. We have the Queen of Ariel. Nurture yourself and those you love, the ability to make anything more beautiful, practical, and wise advice. So maybe that's what we're doing. We are looking for the practical advice. We are looking for the wise advice. Now that could be intuitively, or we are searching on the outside. We are talking to mentors. We are talking to people that have already walked the path. We are talking to like-minded people in order to gather information. Nurture yourself and those you love. And definitely when the moon being in Virgo, it's about nurturing family, helping others, service, growing relationships deeper. We have the 5 of Raphael. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. So everything does happen, I believe, for a reason. Maybe we don't like the things that happen to us sometimes, but they usually put us on the right path forward. It was wisdom we needed to gain, strength we needed to realize within ourselves, our own empowerment. Growing our courage, growing our strength, growing our wisdom. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret. Okay? It wasn't because you made a certain choice in life that you ended up being in a certain area of your life, walking a certain path. Yes, you may have had choices, but I can guarantee you if you look back on the situation, you see more choices available to you than when you actually made the decision. That's your wisdom kicking in. We would never make a decision to harm ourselves. We look for protecting ourselves. The survival instinct kicks in. Even people who are in very bad relationships, they stay there because they know what to expect. And they start to believe what the other person tells them about themselves, which is sad. But based on that belief system, that's how they're making their decisions. By realizing their own empowerment, their own beauty, their own worth, that's when they can step out of that relationship. That's when they can make new choices. Somebody who turns to drugs or alcohol or food or, name the addiction. Okay, it made them feel good for a very short period of time, and so they want to revisit that feel-good feeling. So they go externally outwards to find it, and that's how they end up down those roads. It wasn't a decision to hurt themselves, it was the decision to feel good, to feel happy, to reward themselves in some way, to let go of a stress, or hide the stress, bury the stress, bury the chaos. And so when we look back on it, a lot of times we regret those choices, but those choices in essence were the ones that kept us alive till we could reach this point in our time. Embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. Definitely search for that silver lining. It's there. We have been through some very hard energy. And I think we're in kind of a pause moment, so we can start to look for that silver lining, so that we can start to plan towards the silver lining, so we can stop looking over our shoulder and expecting another bad situation to happen or chaos to erupt. The Seven of Raphael, time to make a decision, be clear on what you want, and take action. A need for detoxification. And that could be a lot of the Seven of Cups, couldn't it? Time to make a decision. Be clear on what we want. So we have the Hermit energy where we want to tap into our intuition, tap into our wisdom, be alone with our thoughts, and really think through the alternatives that we have in front of us right now to make a firm decision. Time to make a decision, be clear on what you want, and take action. A need for detoxification. So there are many ways of detoxing. An easy meditation to detox is your chakras. So CHAKRA, just type it in the YouTube search bar. You will get 1,001 videos, all ranging in length from 5 minutes to 5 hours, probably longer. And you'll probably have to go through a couple in order to find one that matches your personality or your time restraints. But find one that's for you. And do a little bit of a detox of your chakras and balance that energy and release some old negative energy that has been holding you down without you even realizing it. To purify yourself in a sense. That's three. 6 of Gabriel. Congratulations. You've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project. Awards, scholarships, or promotions. So time to move on to the next project. I mean, we just came off of a new moon where we were planting new seeds, and it's still time. We can still plant those new seeds. We can still move forward in new directions. So if there's a project that needs finishing off, maybe this is the weekend to finish it off and to finally close the book on it so that you can walk new paths, start new projects. And we have awards, scholarships, promotions. So maybe it's time to read that bulletin board at work, maybe within the community. See what is opening up, see what is available to you to go for that promotion, to go for maybe a scholarship, to go for an award, to go for a chair in an organization, to play a significant role going forward in an area of your life. The Three of Michael, release the past, you will grow from the situation, and time heals all wounds. So we've got a couple of healing, right? Everything happens for a reason. Release regret. Time for detoxification and release the past. The past was only there so that you could gain wisdom. So stop hanging on to it. Release it. Forgive yourself. Release regret. And think forward motion. Think new beginnings. Think new starts. Release the past, you will grow from the situation. Time heals all wounds. Everybody starts as an amateur on the path. And the more you do the work, the more you apply yourself, the more you discipline yourself, the greater you become. So you will grow. Time heals all wounds. And you know, we don't want to rush through a healing process. I know I'm saying a lot about healing and moving on and releasing regret, but you know, when it starts to become almost a health concern, is how I would see it, is by holding on to a hurt, a pain, a remorse, a sadness, a wound too long, is that you can go into a state of depression. And then your energy is low. And yes, that's when your immune system starts to falter. So we want to not race through that and pretend we're happy when we're not, but to actually go through the healing process, to forgive ourselves, to release regret, give it up to God. If you can change things, great, but if you can't, give it up to God, your angels, your spirit guides. Say, take this burden from me. I'm done with that past. I'm ready to move forward. Give me the strength, give me the courage, give me the understanding I need to move forward, to step into new beginnings. And let's see what our wise animals have to tell us. So I think this is kind of like a pause weekend before we really get, I mean, we're going towards eclipse season, so that's going to bring in all kinds of beautiful energy. We have Mars now in Sagittarius, but we do have Saturn standing in the way. So that's going to be a small wall we'll have to get over, because Mars is going to be going drive, determination, let's go forward, and Saturn's going to be going, whoa, hang on, it's not the rule, can't do that, back it up, do it again the right way. It's like that strict teacher you had in school, wouldn't let you move forward until you had it perfect, and it's frustrating. So Saturn can be very frustrating, especially for Mars, because Mars just wants to drive forward. Get busy, the bee. Get busy. Start doing. Start becoming. Start seeing the path forward. Start envisioning yourself walking that path. If nothing else, start envisioning yourself walking that path forward. Busy, active, goal setting, and fertility. The happiest people are those who are too busy to notice whether they are or not. And I think I've shared it before with you. You know, I was so busy at one time in my life, and I did have something wrong with my blood. My body wasn't processing irons and B's, vitamins. My vitamins and my minerals that were supposed to wash through my body were actually building up, and I was becoming toxic. And so the only way they can actually do anything about that is by draining blood, so that you can make new blood that doesn't have all the extra iron and stuff in it. And I was so tired, so lethargic. I couldn't get up in the morning. I couldn't do anything. Everything was so hard. It was like walking into a wall the whole time and walking through a fog. And I remember the doctor at the very beginning of trying to diagnose what the heck was happening with me asked me if I was depressed. And I had to think, because I had so much on the go all the time that I really didn't have time to think on whether or not I should be depressed. Or, you know, sometimes we think too much. Sometimes we have too much time to think. And getting busy and starting doing something and starting to be productive, you just build your self-esteem. You build that self-awareness that you're doing things, you're accomplishing things, you're getting things done, you're moving to the next level. So I didn't really have, and I had to think. I had to think on whether or not I could be depressed. And I thought, well, I guess I could be depressed. I work a lot of hours, and my mom's not the best of health, and I've got 2 boys with autism, and I have a young teenage daughter, and I'm trying to hold it all together. And maybe I am depressed. I don't know. I never really gave it much thought. So busy as a bee. The busier we are trying to create our journey forward, trying to do, the less time we actually have to sit there and stew on the problems in life, and they start to fester. Those molehills start to turn into mountains just because we're not actually doing something productive, moving somewhere. B tells you that it's time to get busy. Instead of trying to get all of your projects done by yourself, ask for assistance. Everybody has strengths. Some are leaders, while others are followers. Know what category you best fit in and use that to your advantage. While you may hate to clean, there are others who love it. While you may love to organize, others may need your direction on how to best accomplish it. There shouldn't be shame in your talent. Cooperation and delegation is the key with the B. So we're looking, you know, maybe we are meditating a little bit on that this weekend, on how we can build more cooperation in our life, on what things that are using up our time, our energy, our resources, and how we can delegate that out so it's not on our plate anymore, not part of our responsibility. Embrace B by taking small steps, but begin the project or task in front of you, even if it seems impossible. Any action is action towards fulfilling your goal. One of the most important things to remember if you want to be successful is that procrastination is your biggest enemy, and delaying things sabotages your goals. Don't lose hope. Remain determined. B is also known for fertility, and this may be a sign that it is the right time to add a child to your life, or you may hear from someone close to you that she is pregnant. You may want to start an exercise program. B lets you know that in order to motivate yourself, you need to work as a team. Instead of running on a treadmill, join a volleyball team. Instead of walking around the block by yourself, ask a neighbor to join you. The pressure you put on yourself will greatly decrease if you engage others who can help motivate you. And it's so true when we are trying to reach a goal, especially when it comes to weight loss or exercising more or eating healthier, and you're doing it all by yourself. Well, one, it's a lot easier to cheat because nobody's watching, right? And then we get discouraged with our results because we're kind of cheating. We're taking corners. We're rewarding ourselves before we actually reach that goal level. But when we're doing it with a group of people, we're watching each other, we're encouraging each other, we're getting together, we're making it a fun task instead of something that we have to be really disciplined and determined and serious about. It turns into fun, it turns into enjoyment. So yes, find a friend to go for a walk with. Even if it's not exercise that you're looking to gain, maybe it's just back and forth talking about situations in your life that will bring in clarity through another voice, or just saying the statement out loud to another person because you are thinking about how to phrase it, what the point is you want to get across. So, we have the Hermit there, but then we also have the High Priestess for the spiritual wisdom coming in, the spiritual magic. I always think is attached to the High Priestess. So when you are talking, when you are conversing, when you are bouncing ideas, when you are brainstorming with other people, that's when the magic starts to happen, because you bounce off of each other's ideas. You bounce off of each other's conversation points. And it grows the dream that much bigger, faster. And it also shows you where there's holes in your plan going forward, so that you don't fall into a pitfall, you don't see a roadblock, you don't hit that wall. So I think it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Don't try and push through the energy right now. Plan your approach. Get busy doing something little, something productive. Get together with like-minded people, people that you enjoy. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.